and roll with every blow. So who passing me the rock? Or I can do it on my own. And so who passing me the block? I know them pictures on patrol. I'm a panther when I drop. Just that dandruff flow because I'm nasty off the top, nigga. That's another one. That's another one.
First question. Who is Dred Scott?
Ooh, damn, you know what's crazy is that's such a simple question, but it's so hard to answer. Like, usually when I say like, who's Dred Scott, I say the Basquiat of bars, the freeform Federal, the rap Black Goku, you know what I mean? But ultimately, I'm just a dude who rap, trying to explain my perspective, the way I see the world, and inspire people, honestly, like trying to build like an experience for people and just do it through like lyricism and like my music. So, you know, Dred Scott is no different than you, like we all connected, you feel me? So damn, that was mad philosophical. Like,
there's a part 2 to this question. Who is Geppetto?
Yo, the fact that you mispronounced it though.
Did I just, bro, did I really? I was thinking about this all day. I'm like, literally, did I say it wrong? Bro, I'm an idiot. Cut this, cut this.
No redo.
Geppetto, Drapto, I'm like, which one is it?
I know, bro. See,
bro, how did I change it? How did I mess it up? Like, I'm the one doing the interview, bro. Like, anyway, go ahead. Drapto, oh my God, bro.
So who is Drapto? So this is some Dred Scott lore right here. So basically, I used to go by the name Drapto. That was my first artist name. And Drapto was short for a word called drapetomania or draptomaniac, which was, I'm giving like a whole lecture right now, but drapetomania was a like fake medical condition that this white doctor diagnosed during like slavery in like the 1800s. And he said that a person that was seeking freedom was like mentally ill. So like if you were a slave on a plantation, you were trying to run away, he said you had a mental illness, and he called it drapetomania. And so I took that concept and flipped it and said like Drapto, like nothing wrong with seeking freedom. And I went by that name for like, I don't even know, like a year or two. And I only became Dred Scott like last year. Like, I don't know if people know that shit, but like I literally became Dred Scott last year. Part of the reason I changed it also is because like people be mispronouncing it. They be saying Geppetto. I don't know why they be doing that, you know what I mean? No. But yeah, Drapto was my first professional artist name. Don't worry about it, Dilo. It's all good.
They say I'm superstitious. That is the mood I'm killing. You see the shoes I fit in. Couldn't walk a mile in them. I had no pot to piss in. And you see that's the difference between Drapto and these other niggas. Only made it this far because I doubted my haters. And every hat read with hatred. So please don't get it mistaken.
What is Black Guerilla rap?
Black Guerilla rap is like my philosophy that I apply towards like hip hop music. So the Black Guerilla like movement to me is like a symbol of like Malcolm X, by any means necessary, like we go and get free, like revolution, liberation. And so I take that same idea. Like if you listen to my music, I talk a lot about like, you know, a lot of revolutionary leaders like Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X. You know, I include them in my music, and I'm really talking about like the fact that we're trying to get free. Like it's like revolutionary music. And so Black Guerilla rap is like, bro, I'm taking these concepts from everything that I learned about, like all the Assata Shakur, everybody that I look up to, I'm putting it in my music and I'm putting it out there, and I'm combining these two things that I like really view as like the guiding force of like my whole life. Like I'm applying that to rap music. Like it's not separate from my life. This is exactly what I see through my eyes, and I call it Black Guerilla rap. So, and it's gonna be an album one day called Black Guerilla Rap. So drop in 2027, I don't know, sometime, but yeah.
Moving past the masquerades, I'd rather walk this path I lay. I'm tired of the masses' ways, but who gon' cast his cast away? When half the price they have to pay for lines as sharp as razor blades can go to cat for plays who one day gon' evaporate like...
Since you're the Basquiat of bars, are there any specific Basquiat pieces that represent your style the most?
Yo, that's probably like the best question anybody's asked me. In terms of Basquiat pieces that represent me, like, first of all, the reason I say I'm Basquiat of bars, a lot of people think it's because of the hair, and I'm like, oh, I got the hair, but no, it's not because of that. It's because the things that Basquiat did in his artwork inspire me to be courageous in my music and talk about Black issues in my music. And one of my favorite Basquiat pieces of all time is called Hollywood Africans. It's like this yellow canvas with a lot of like different colors on top, like primary colors like blue and red. And he's explaining like in that, if you look at that artwork, it's like a picture of like three or like a group of Africans, and there's like money symbols. There's all these like words that are crossed out. And really it's a symbol of the fact that these Africans in Hollywood who maybe made it or have money are still viewed as like, you know, just some niggas. Like, we're still like, it doesn't matter how much money you get, you're still going to be viewed in a certain way. And that's something that I really embody, because I'm like, it doesn't matter how much I try to, you know, think I can make it here or get, you know, this amount of money. I know at the end of the day exactly who I am and how the world views me. And so that Hollywood African piece, like, always inspires me. Like, just like same way Kanye said, like, even if you in a Benz, you're still a nigga in a coupe. Like, that right there is Hollywood Africans, like, displayed. Like, every day I see that shit. And so it's just a reminder to myself to know, like, this is who I am, this is who we are, and this is how the world views us. Hollywood Africans. Another Basquiat piece that I feel really like embodies my music and reflects the things that I do with my music is a piece that he did called The Irony of the Negro Policeman. And it's a painting, it's basically of a black cop, but there's a lot of imagery in it that if you look at it, it looks like off. Like, you see this black man in a police uniform and you instantly know something's wrong. And it really like addresses the hypocrisy of like the fact that we deal with like police brutality and violence like every day, but then you have black people who are police officers. And you had that in the most recent case, like in Memphis, like everything that happened there, like 6 black cops beating a black man to death. You think that's crazy, but then you think about how the police is like state-sanctioned violence. And like, that is something that I always keep in mind too, is like, it doesn't matter like, you know, who you are, what you look like this oppressive system is like still gonna be displayed to us, even when it's coming from us, people in uniform that are supposed to be on our side that aren't on our side. So Irony of the Negro Policeman is another one.
Well, I got better facts. The real don't die. We multiply like Henrietta Lacks. That's why I never relax. Seen them cap on hella tracks. I kill them with rhymes. Just like my weapon got a pen attached. Run it back.
What is the significance or importance of freestyling in hip hop?
I think, okay, I'm gonna give 2 answers, all right? One is the significance of freestyling to me, and the other is like to hip hop in general. So me personally, last year, I guess 2021, I moved to New York, not knowing a single person, right? Like, I had no friends, and I was just in New York. And every Friday, I started going to a hip hop cypher where there'd be all these rappers there, and everybody would be freestyling, and it was crazy, and it was some of the most insane shit I heard. And I would go there every single Friday, and I made a lot of friends through that. I got a lot better at freestyling. I got a lot better at writing, just like technical ability in terms of rapping, like just skyrocketed in my view. And also, the most important part is I built a community. Like, I had people that I consider friends that I met at the cypher. Like, that's crazy. And it was a place called Legendary Cyphers. It was in Union Square in New York every Friday from 8 p.m. to midnight. They'd just be out there rapping for hours. And so that really like just skyrocketed like my development as an artist, just as a member of a larger community. And like, it gave me some friends too, because like I had no friends when I moved there. So that's the importance of freestyling to me. 2, I feel like, this is a hot take, I don't care, you can argue about it in the comments or whatever, but if you can't freestyle like off the dome, and I'm not saying it has to be crazy, like it has to be the best thing ever, but if you don't have the ability to freestyle off the dome, I don't respect your pen like as a rapper. Like, I'm sorry, like you could still be like good, you could be okay, but you're not gonna get that respect. From me personally, if someone plays a beat and you don't know how to freestyle, you can't do it. And so that's just a take from me. I think every rapper out there, if you really want to be like a lyricist, you really consider yourself a rapper, like try freestyling, bro. I guarantee you, it'll like really push like your artistic and lyrical ability. And it's a way to just test your ability to like think on your feet, not just like as like a person, but like as like an artist who's like, you know, you're going to be doing shows, you're going to be performing live, you're going to have to like, you know, think quickly. And so it'll really like flex that muscle. So freestyling, core element of hip hop, and very important. And if you can't do it, you suck. That was a joke, but yeah.
You ain't no Nostradamus, I mean, most forgot us. If you saw it where my father got it started, you would be startled that I even made it through my first quarter of college. I had to scrap for $1 with half and half on the Palmers. Life was sweeter when evil leaders and beatings wasn't upon us. Final question.
What do you think is the difference between you when you're rapping versus you in real life?
That's some shit I think about all the time. And I feel like you're asking me that because you learned that I have a, people don't know this, but Dred Scott has a degree in computer science and political science. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I am a rapper, but I also like do other things sometimes, or did things before. Not to say like you can be a rapper and still have a degree, and that shouldn't be like a crazy thing to think about. Like J. Cole was like valedictorian or something like that. But honestly, this kind of goes back to the Drapto versus Dred Scott question, because I feel like when I was Drapto, I was very much like kind of wearing a mask over like who I really was, like most of the time. Like I felt like, all right, in real life I'm like whoever this person, but when I go rap, I'm like a different person, and I'm Drapto, and it felt like I was putting on this mask or this disguise, and I think that kind of got exhausting over time. Like I didn't want to do that, and so part of the reason why I even got like a new name like Dred Scott, because it sounds like a name and it feels like something that I can actually like embrace. Like that might really be my name. Like as far as people are concerned, like that might be my real government name. And so like it helped me like combine my identities a little better. And so now I feel like there's not really a difference between like who I am outside of music and who I am like when I'm making music. Like it's kind of combined, like it fused, kind of like Gogeta, you know what I mean? Like it just came together and like it's like one singular like mind state now, and it's a lot easier to manage. So on some Moon Knight shit, I feel like my personalities have now like fused together, and there's like a little more balance in my brain. But
bonus question.
What
is the most unique or coolest place you've ever traveled?
Ooh, I don't know if a lot of people know this, because I did this when I was still Drapto, but one of my dreams was always to go to Japan and shoot a music video. And so I've been to Japan twice, and the second time I went there, I shot a music video for a song called In the Streets, and it was over like a Jay Dilla beat, because Jay Dilla had an album called Jay Love Japan, and it's like instrumentals and like, you know, it just has like a Japanese and hip hop like fusion, and I've always been interested in that, like everything from like clothing brands, like things that like Lupe does. I love anime, so there's always that connection. So like I had to go to Japan, so I've been there twice. My favorite place, they got the best food, and I love going to record stores there and just like acting like I was digging in the crates, like, oh, I'm gonna sample this shit. I don't know how to fucking sample, but I'm like, oh yeah, if I knew how to do this shit, I would sample this. Nujabes, also a big inspiration for me. So yeah, man, Japan, most interesting place I ever traveled to.
GT swerving, PD lurking, I'm just in it for the ride like Pee Wee Herman. Every G he's earning, you know he be working, put the Mac